Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ubuntu and Law. I believe this is episode 17, right? So I'm excited. Excited. Is that the right word to use exactly? I am honored, thrilled, and thankful to everyone that has been listening. And I hope you enjoyed the few episodes, especially our guest and those few guests that have joined me on studio. I hope it was informative, it was education, it was legally sound, and you got a perspective and a little bit of relatability from those guests. So today's episode is episode 17. I will always announce on my episodes you know why? Because, man, like, if I can tell you the effort just to have one episode, like, you have no idea. Since my channel is a self-ran channel, like, literally, I'm the only one who's running it. I'm talking about I handle sound, production, visual, lighting, editing. It's not perfect. So, yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot, but when you have a vision, or you have I don't want to say a mission, but you have a journey. Yeah. I think that's the for lack of a better word, a journey, right? So yeah, that is what I'm going to be classifying this as. So today I'm riding solo, like solo Sokoa. Okay. So yeah. Thank you for joining me. And today we have some very, very interesting topics, especially for those, especially in the legal space and in general. So in general, we'll have very interesting topics. Especially for people who want to be particularly step fathers, right? So yeah. I'm really excited about that, and yeah. Without further ado, I feel like let's just jump into it. Did I forget anything? I doubt it. But yeah, is the other episode not that great? Yeah, man. Like I always say, each and every episode, look, if you're not really enjoying it on YouTube, because I know YouTube is for watching, check it out on Spotify, right? Or check it out on a platform, international platform. I don't know what it's called. It's a stream platform, so it's called rss.com, which is you can find Ubuntu and Law there. You can download it and listen to it. Yeah, but that one is for international. And for my international listeners, I see you. You are increasing. You're increasing gradually. Thank you for listening and for being here and listening. I know. I see the numbers. I see you are there. So I do appreciate that. Let me see. So I'm gonna mention a few countries. Very small number though, but it's like I see Portugal is there. I don't see that account, but I think for now, yeah. And the other one is like Chile. What else? I couldn't see because it limited me because I'm still new at it. So yeah, thank you. How do you say thank you in Portuguese? I will definitely learn that. So yeah. Don't forget, I'm also on YouTube, Ubuntu and Law. Ubuntu, it's Ubuntu and Law. Spotify, same thing. Everywhere, social media, same thing. Instagram, same thing. So yeah, let's jump right into it. All right, let's go to violence, learners and violence. So here's the story. So I think it happened this past week, right? I would imagine where you are or when this comes out, it would have been a few weeks, probably a month or so. But yeah, the story goes like this. So, a 12-year-old student in the Northwest was beaten to death by her teacher for not wearing proper uniform. Okay, I'm not sure if it is he or her, but So the teacher was arrested, right? So imagine that your teacher just beats you to death because you were not wearing a school uniform. Oh, that's hectic. Yeah, man, that's hectic. Imagine getting beat by a teacher and so forth and so forth. Imagine. So I was not really following the story that much, but I did see it on my timeline, and it was like, it's one of those rural schools that are isolated. But imagine that beating a learner just because they're not wearing school uniform. Not asking it why you're not wearing a school uniform. Is there a reason to it? Like, that's, yeah, man, it's terrible. But the legal issue, Lana, it's children protection, right? And then there's criminal law behind it, which is assault equates to, and then there's death, and then so everything like you mentioned now falls under the Constitution of South Africa, which is part of a section which is right to life and human dignity. Those are two sections. The right to life, which that one is like now right to life in our constitution. That constitution protects everyone. So yeah, we're not allowed to kill anyone. The worst thing they can give you life sentences. So I always heard in in the news when they say, oh no, we should bring back the next thing. What is that thing? Hanging. Yeah, we should bring back the hanging. I'm like, do these people know about the Constitution? We're not allowed to do that per Constitution. We're not. So yeah, that section and the right to life. So yeah, man, like I didn't follow too much on it, but imagine to a point whereby now you are getting beat to death. Like I always think, okay, what was the mental state of the teacher to beat beat a child to death? Imagine, it's hectic. Oh, alleged. Was it death? Yeah, I think according to the report, it was beat to death. So that is so hectic. Okay, I'm gonna share a few case law. So there's one that is very interesting. It talks about corporal punishment in schools, right? So it states versus Vance as 2004. So it's a South African case, right? So teacher convicted for corporal punishment resulting in serious injury or death. So this is not the first time this has happened, but I think when you're a teacher, I think they just take advantage because their parents don't really care. I think it's one of those incidents but we have seen, especially if you're from rural school or government school, whereby teachers will just be very, like, you've heard stories, just a teacher violently slaps a student. I think it's a student. Pardon me, a learner. Because, your parents don't even care. They just throw you here at school. Routine. I'm going to what. And I feel that there should be procedure or ways of, teachers or children should report, a system. So a system whereby children can report their teachers. No, even if those kids, they don't want to be known, there's a form of, you can do that anonymously. So I think if you will go to the local clinics or hospitals, there's literally a box that says, hey, complaints, begala. You just write and you put in your complaint. So if a specific nurse is just being a pain in the neck, so right. And obviously, I presume this system was based on how many patients are complaining, and then they have to do investigation. So I believe that should be a system. Just an idea, but yeah, that should be a system whereby this is 1, 2, 3, and it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3. Procedure, let's say those children, they don't want to be known, right? To go see, I think they should, because that way, man, this teacher is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, because that's not really fair. And the key takeaway from this is probably I was done homework. Probably the kid didn't write his homework. Maybe he was talking. Maybe he was one of those kids who probably making a noise during class, and then, or maybe he didn't listen, whatever. But some teachers do bring their issues at workplace, and then they project it to some of their learners where they feel that they're usually neglected. So that happens. So the key takeaway, lads, educators can face criminal charges for physical abuse for learners. You can, but necessarily obvious there's administration inside. It has to go through. There's a process before it. But yeah, not necessarily. But yeah, I think it differs with the specific circumstances, So, that happens. So yeah. So learners, I doubt any learner will be listening to this, but in the sake of, but you can report double teacher work, or like you didn't come here to get beaten. Like come on, man, you can't. You came here to learn, and the job description of a teacher is to teach. Your duty is to learn. But the beating part, something, man. I don't know, but I have an idea on how to, bring awareness to that. Hopefully, it will be efficient. So yeah, definitely. So definitely, you can report. So the impact to this whole thing, like it's a community shock. Imagine you live in a community here, teach you for like the kid is dead and so forth, so forth. It speaks to the safety of the school and so on and so forth. How safe is it, and is that because I never really believe something can happen from 0 to 100. It's like so I try it. I think it's just a habit. Like you get used to it, so and then you get away with it. Then you get away with it, and then you use a weapon, probably a stick or a pipe. You beat them, and then maybe you just went on and you lost it. You got frustrated, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So yeah, man, which does, and it does point out the safety for school, for learners at school. So you have a child there, like now these teachers are killing our children now. Yeah, but go and get local. So you're like, yeah, that's very interesting. But yeah, it definitely it is interesting, and it is something that I feel like it should be followed upon. Because now the whole thing now it creates emotional trauma, even for the other learners. Now there's an element of trauma. I don't want to go to school. Yeah, the teacher will beat you to death. Now there's like, you see, and then what if that, because it's a whole school now, that type of behavior or that trauma becomes normalized, and then you see the effect it does to the society. Now we have adults or young adults who have these types of trauma. So that is crazy. So imagine going to school, right, and beaten to death. What would the law do? That is the question I'm posing to all of you. So what would be the law do? So to you, I'm gonna ask this. So should corporal punishment ever be allowed in schools? No, but rural schools and township schools still exist. Because I was some people they just like and for some reason there's this thing when you do something or hey, I'm shy. Did you even try to listen inside of the story? They just they tend to look at it from a point of what you are sure, but and when you shy, and then I suppose that's where we teachers will I'm shy, and some big shy like, okay, this is not discipline, this is just abuse. So, and how do you connect those two where parents, hey, parents, you have to be actively there. And then you think everything, a solution is like a child has to be beaten for every solution because he didn't do 1, 2, 3, 4, or he was on. Find another way to punish a child. So, because you are reinforcing a behavior, then that when they grow up, now they think, oh, if someone does not do this, or if things are solution for them to be fixed is Melashar. I'm like, he has to be beaten. So, yeah, that's crazy. But I just want to know what you think. What do you think? Should it be allowed? Should corporal punishment ever be allowed in schools? We'll never know. We'll never know. Yeah, this is okay. This is the part of the show whereby I say we'll be right back. But because of editing, it gives me problems. So I'm just gonna, a few seconds, I'm gonna slip out of the frame and I'll be back right now. So audio will be on, but yeah, because I'm not pausing. No. So yeah, so okay, I'll be back. 2 seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that my equipment, my cards are full or they're overheated. I think camera has taken too much information. So we are going to be kicking this audio style. So which is cool because we will have a conversation and you hear my voice and we will just talk. But they don't know that. So let's pretend like the lens is still working. So yeah. So moving on. Next segment or next. So community family law, stepchildren maintenance. So I saw a few sources on the, I saw a few articles on this, a few sources on the internet or newspaper article rather. So here's the story, just the summative version. So very short. So divorced men compelled to financially support stepchildren. So this is interesting. So this is very, very interesting. So this is like this. So in South Africa, right? In South Africa, the south side tip of Africa. Well, if you're married and that woman has children, those legally those become your children by law. So even if you divorce, you can't say, these are not my biological children. The law said, those were children. Yeah, so even like you have to pay. So because the focus law is what for the courts, like the best interest of the child over parental dispute. So obviously when I dispute, oh no, these are your children. I'm thinking, I've seen videos from America. Oh my God, I've seen videos from America whereby they were married, a few ladies, a lady was married to a man, and then what, and etc. And then they divorced, and then women were so excited. Yes. And then they said, okay, Kanjena, now you're on your own. Because that's not his biological child. They were like, wait, what do you mean now? No, and then they will insist, no, this is your child. I don't care. You see, it's not your parent, but this is your child. This is your only parent this child has ever known. And like, huh? and then there's a huge argument. No, this is your child. I don't care. I will come Monday. What? And then women are very like all of those things. I think they will enjoy this. I think if they were here or lived in South African cities, they would eat this up. So now, ladies and gentlemen, man of South Africa. So now you have to be very cautious. Now it can't just be marrying a woman just because she signed a prenup, antenuptial. If she signed an antenuptial and ergo, or by then, they are not legally responsible for the child. So no, legally they are. There are cases that prove, there are case laws that support this. So here's another one. M versus NM, 2010 High Court. Court rules stepfather responsible for maintenance where he acted as a parental figure. Yep, that's right. In South Africa, yes. So you are responsible for maintaining, because what you acted like a parental figure. Ergo, you're a parent. And let's say you're that gentleman, right? And you don't have kids with this woman, and they do probably one child. Because I would imagine that's the only time you're willing to embark on a relationship with a woman that has a child. Because I don't know, why would you want to date a woman who has a lot of children? But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I would imagine. But anyway, yeah, legally now, yeah, it is enforced. So key takeaway from that case is financial support may extend beyond biological children. So let's say you have a mixed family. Just because you're divorced, it's over. Those are still your children. Let's say you have 3 children as a male from your other previous relationship, and then she has 2. And you decide to get married. Technically, those are all your kids. You have to pay maintenance for all of them. Maintenance, you have to pay for all of their school fees, you name it, clothes, everything that a father does for their children, even if they're not. Imagine. Man, the law is crazy sometimes. Imagine if the father comes back. I don't know. I feel like there's a dilemma there because, so imagine the father comes back and then the biological father, but you've been taking care, and then sometimes the minute I'm going back to my baby daddy, and then now the dad is like, ish, things are not working out. Legally, I don't know. Is it legally that are you still responsible for paying maintenance even though the biological dad is back? And yeah, that is interesting. But that's crazy. Imagine. So like there's an element, like there's a lot to it. There's a impact. So emotional and financial stress on adults, legal clarity on responsibility towards stepchildren. So I would advise Uguti, you know what, just don't do the thing. Don't do that. Don't. You have to be careful. Hey, man, hey, that's a law. Last time, one of my episodes, we were talking about, our siblings. Now, you have to take care of your siblings if you have the means to do it, and if they have tried all other means to get a job, but they can't take care of them. Like, you're responsible. Legal, it's not like a family thing or a conscious thing or a choice. Like, legally, you have to take care of them. You're doing exceptionally, you have businesses, and legally, you have to take care of your siblings. And now you have to take care of your stepchildren. When you look in between the lines, you can tell the law or the constitution, or rather, the law of South Africa has Ubuntu. Like it centers around community and family and values, even though it has elements to, foreign what, but that is good. Like, it takes a village. There's a saying that says it takes a village to raise a kid, and regardless of it's your kid or not, but the family will raise a kid. So, same thing, same thing. They come with your children, it is your duty to take care. But I also think this is based on the assumption of there's no such thing as divorce. Let's say, example, an instance whereby, let's say the woman had 2-3 kids and then the husband died and then you marry her. So it's based on the assumption that means the father of the children, or rather in this case, the baby daddy, is dead. So when you take care of your kids, they need a father figure, they need a role model. So I think more or less, it's like I said, Ubuntu. It has elements of Ubuntu which aligns perfectly with the show. I feel like that wasn't needed because there's like 2 dots, Mela connect, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's crazy. I think it's very crazy, Futi. Not in a bad way, but it's very crazy with how sometimes you look at the indigenous elements and you think, oh, they don't have, because they're kind of way back forward and oppressive, etc. And that may be true, but not every element to it is like that. So I don't know any other legal system that can say it. Hey, this is your children. You are legally 1, 2, 3. So that's crazy, right? Extremely crazy. So, moving forward, let me just add one more. In South Africa, law, okay, someone is talking to me. So in South African law, the child always comes first, even if you are not biological parents. So a question for me for this part, to those who are listening, for all of you that are still listening and are with me to this monologues, our conversation with me. Initially, let me not be morbid or depressive. So, do you agree that non-biological parents should contribute financially? Should you? I think it's based on circumstances, truth be told. So I think every scenario, circumstances is very different and unique. So should it, like I just gave an example, what if the father is dead, and what if we go to South African culture whereby if you marry customary, I think, whereby if the brother or the other brother dies and he had the 2 children with the wife, one, the younger brother or whoever is next, supposed to marry that wife, and those children automatically become his. There's a show about that. It's called Ukungenwa, translated to be. When you translate that, it says to be entered. I know it doesn't sound right, but isiZulu was never meant to be translated. Yeah, but again, I think an understandable translation in to be approached. Yeah, that's the right word, to be approached. So culturally, yeah, it does happen. So I think there's every circumstances is different, and but yeah, man, it happens. So do you agree that non-biological parents should contribute financially? Ish, that's a discussion. That's a necessary discussion. But because I think if you were to date a woman who had a child, automatically that they're like a package deal, right? You can always look at it from a point of economic. Oh no, that's not my kid. Blah blah blah. But from a point of love, warmth, and family, yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, I think that part is debatable, but hey, man, just give me your opinion. Let me hear you, and yeah, yeah. Man, oh man, man. Shifting gears now. Let's talk about law students. My favorite segment. I don't know how many of them are still listening in here, but yeah. So, financial barriers. So, law student completed studies but blocked from graduating due to unpaid fees. So you see a lot of students in my situation so whereby now you find them opening an account back a body just to pay so that they can get their degree and so forth because of they can't afford to pay it off, and you won't get it, course, like you won't. You're not even allowed to get it like a transcript if you own the institution. So crazy. So it's like this. So legal issue of this situation. What constitutionally you can hear like it's obviously Section 29 of the Constitution, which is right to education, right? So it infringes on that because now you're in a situation, now you have a job, now opportunities are calling. You do have those opportunities, but that's hey, give me your degree. I'm like, "Ish, I do have it. I did well. I know I did well, but I can't pay the institution, and they won't release it. You see now, like oh, now. So institutional obligation, fair access to graduation. You don't even have like you don't like you're not even given an opportunity to graduate because wow. So it's a lot crazy. Yeah, ukuthi isn't like so like man, it's crazy. But yeah, there's a let me share a case law before I continue. So there's one. So University of Free State. University of Free State versus AfriForum 2017. Court confirmed education access must be fair, inclusive, and non-discriminatory. Non-discriminatory. So another one is governing body of Juma Masjid Primary School versus SA 2011. Education is a directly enforceable right. Schools must not justly exclude students. They can't unjustly. Impact on this, especially for students, is like student cannot graduate, which I think it takes away their moments for because they've been working hard. I mean, working hard, it's hectic, it's tough, there's challenges, but you pull through. And trust me, those modules, whatever you're doing, they are not easy. Anyone that shows off and looks like a royal family member who's looking, gentlemen are looking dapper, women are looking gorgeous. So like, trust me, they've earned those strides. Like working in, taking those gorgeous and beautiful pictures is like you understand with wow man, I got my belt. It has been hard, it's been difficult, even if it's just for that day. But the fact is I'm here, I'm in like it's a special moment for all of them. So now because of that thing is taken away, that moment that we've been working on. And also you also think about with teachers that's good. They don't tell you of such challenges. They just tell you, hey man, they just tell you, hey, if you work hard and you pass at the best, you go to tertiary, and then tertiary, your life is gonna be wow, you're living the life, you're the best. They tell you, Okay, this was step one of freaking hard. The performance that you have to do that times two when you get to the next stage. So that's another level of wow. So that happens, and then so forth and so forth. So yeah, man, it's difficult, but they don't. And then there's mental health issues that affect you. Now you're stressed, and you've heard that some people end up committing suicide, or women probably. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say allege, resort to escort. I want to say escortism, but I don't think that's a word. Yeah, any way forms to find money so that they can pay it off. Guys now they're just doing odd job. Just like sometimes you find people who are just doing it. Hey man, I'm educated, I know 1 2 3, but I'm doing a job like this because of 1 2 3. So man, it's difficult out there. So mental health is not really good because now imagine if you come from a poor background, they're expecting greatness out of you. You are that person from the village. You are that individual from the township. Wow, you're studying something so hectic, and then now you can't graduate. Now clearly like you're graduating, you are academically like you're good and you know your things, but because of now they look at you as if no you're lying. And also there's like missed opportunities. Now they say, okay, we just need your certificate, your graduation, or from your degree essentially. They say, hey man, we need your degree. We did well, bamba. Okay, now there's an opportunity to work. We like you. They're like, I can't use it because I don't have access to 1 2 3. Now, missed opportunities. Actually, you have an opportunity to move from here. You're going to Cape Town or Durban, or even internationally. Now you can't really go there because they won't give you this. So the challenges that students face are, man, it is, and I feel like there should be a way whereby a solution of sorts, whereby we have a conversation with the institution. Hey, I'm going to pay you back your money, and then you have a hey, how about I think a solution that should or maybe can be effective. Like, okay, how about you link my job what let's say, okay, for them let's say you have a job, right? And then you have to talk to them about that position. Then they have to talk to their boss. Okay, we will take people 30% or 50% of his or her salary until abadale. But yeah, before the salary comes to your bank, it will just go, like debit orders, when you buy clothes on credit or pay phones on credit. Like, I think there should be a system like that, whereby when the money is about to come in, let's say you make about roughly 30 to 50K, right? 50K, like 50% of that is like 25% of that they take it, including, and then tax will take care, and then probably that person will be making, I don't know, maybe less than 15K or 10 until they pay it off. I think in America they do that. I think, but to them it's like a student loan, and person probably wake up for 7 years to 11 just to pay off this thing. So I don't know, man. But I think there should be so that they can work and pay it off. Now you have a skilled person, and then you complain because the economy is not growing or we don't have enough skills. But you do. It's just now there's a. That is just my opinion, by the way. But I think that would be in a progress. I don't know about efficiency or effectiveness, but I think that would be progress. So, finish. I'm about to close this part off. So, finished your degree but can't graduate because financial blocks. Is that fair or legal? What to think about? Is that fair or is it legal? So something to think about. So hopefully you do think about that. So here's a question for you. Should universities offer more flexible payment system to protect students? Hell yes. I just mentioned the solution. Of course they should. Come on. I think the purpose of my institution is to ensure that but I think there's also number cons, the pros and cons. So what if you don't use that degree now? So you don't just, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to be an artist. So now you owe them. Now you're doing something else. So who's going to pay for that? Because he's like, just keep it. Anything. I was just doing it in jail, just finding myself. So another part for the institution, that is like a risk. Now they cannot be operating on a deficit, and then they have a huge percentage of 20% or 27% of students now doing that. Because some they just do it just to find themselves. Just let me just try this degree and see what's up. And then they owe, and then I don't care, keep it. Like I can do this skill, what some So I do understand that. So yeah, it isn't. That's how it's a conversation that must be had, and hopefully there are more progressive solutions to this. So yeah, man. So let's move on to the next, which is professional attorneys. Or in this case, let's focus on candidate attorney exploitation. So in South Africa, we have a lot of graduate, and it's very difficult to find articles. Like, oh, I've seen people online just like, hey man, I'm willing to move to any province, even the bare minimum, even not the prescribed pay, stipend, MOE, CA, LPs. I think it's supposed to be a K. Yeah, but some they don't want to pay or whatnot. So yeah, so imagine that. So it's like so what are they supposed to do? So we have a lot of graduate, like each and every year graduate, and now the conversation is like, unfortunately, because of the state of, now we have 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, man, so this is interesting. Ask yourself, why is that interesting? So now the culture now, if you were to check LinkedIn, is like, a lot of people graduate, but they're going to go, well, I can't really do the thing because it's not like I'll get employment. So what do? They do their masters. Their masters, and I'm seeing a lot of them doing their masters. This is creating a backlog. It's the same thing. I think a decade ago or half a decade ago, whereby we didn't have enough graduates, and then the jobs are everywhere, and then boom. Now we have a lot of graduate. Now there's a backlog of graduate, and then so now you ask yourself, okay. So they were saying we didn't have enough college degrees. Now we do. We have graduate, and then now people are doing their masters. I'm like, I was checking at Leaplease. So Leaplease is like a website for one of the top. I think corporate firms, they usually use that. So I was busy checking it out. I'm like, when you look at the requirement, so LLP now, and a composite index, which is a minimum average of roughly, they say 65%, but nah, they don't want 65. They're just saying that 75%. So they want that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then they say plus and masters. I'm like, oh, so if you're not willing to do a master's, you can kiss working in corporate space. Goodbye, according to my opinion. But I did look at now. I checked it. I think a year ago it was LB. Especially okay, I can make it. Then now they had a master's, and so now you have to do a master's. So, but hey, man, I think So now we're going to have a lot of people about a masters, and then from there the bar is going to go up PhD. So LLM, LLD. So now we are born about this is problematic now. So how do you go about this issue? So how do you solve such a particular issue or whatnot? So it's very competitive now. But I think we need to decentralize certain industries and focus on building certain but that is based on the town or province. So if we have a central city, a big industrial city in specific provinces, I think we can. Because I think the biggest cities in South Africa is Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. Other than that, it's just everyone just flocks there, and it's very competitive, unfortunately. So what was it? I think when you're trying to, someone was like, "What if you want to be a judge?" Oh yeah. So there's I don't know, was it a judge or NPA? So we're like, no, man, when they were telling me, NPA. But Lana, it's hard in Gauteng because you have to score plus 85% in total or average. And then on my province, you can get even 60%, you'll be fine. So you see, the more people that are, the more competitive it becomes. So you can tell a lot of students want to go commercial because there's a lot of money. Remember, minimum when you're in commercial as a you make about 25K, which is 25,000 a month. And like minimum from other firms, like it differs with firms. For minimum is supposed to be 8K, 8,000. So depending on the firm and its growth and what. So it differs. So that is interesting. So the big ones are competitive, but yeah, this is what's here. Man, hectic. Oh yeah, I'm still in. So here's the story. It goes like this. So candidate attorneys works long hours, low pay, no overtime, compensation. So the legal issue obviously labor law violation, exploitation in legal training. So the relevant acts, labor, money, they're obvious. It's Basic Condition of Employment Act, Labor Relations Act. So those are the legal issues that you have to look at. But there are cases of such things, such as Kyle versus CCMA 2010. Even irregular workers in exploitative employment are entitled to protection. That is just the law that is written. It's an act. Another one is this Discovery Health LTD versus CCMA 2008. Employment status evaluated based on reality, not just formal contract terms. So this one needs to be biased because you need CCMA, as you can hear. So impact the life. You're overworked, underpaid. What you have burnout, mental stress because you overworked, you're tired, burnout, mental stress. You're overworked. How can you can't family, and then you're stressed because now you're not even making enough. So, my CAs, candidate attorney leave profession early. Some they do leave early. I'm not gonna lie. So, this field is very competitive. So, it is competitive. I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes people, I think one of the great professions usually are competitive. That's just their nature. I think doctors is the same thing. I think doctors are not allowed to make a mistake at a certain point because you're dealing with a person's life, and that's a lawsuit for the clinic or the hospital. So you have to be astute, for lack of a better word. So yeah. So raises question of ethical practices in law firms. So yeah, that's another one. So like I said, I've once had a story whereby there was a firm, those firms that are just how they rent a house in the service and then they call it startup. So now they pay you 2,000 rand. Imagine 2,000, and then you have to call. The work you have to do, like really 2,000. Like okay, it was always like 2,000. Really, that man, I was like really 2,000. Like it cost you more in a week to go to your workplace. Now, so imagine. So you work and then you don't go to cinema. It's technically like you're volunteering in essentially. So imagine that, and that's hectic. But anyway. Yeah, man. I think thanks to the LPC, we bring such things to light, and they should be reported. And I also have a guest that I want to bring. It's just man, my schedule is crazy, man, and I wish I could film. I don't know, no, I used to film consistently twice a week. Now it's just one, sometimes twice. It depends. Like right now, let me see. I think next week is the 21st. What? It's Human Rights Day, so I would love to film on that day, but I can't because you're not buying coffee or something. Buy coffee. The more you buy and donate those coffees, I think Patreon or something. Yeah, just do the things and yeah. And probably I will double rent the studio because public holiday is expensive to rent the studio. So here's a question for this section, which is candidate attorneys, right? So have you ever experienced workplace exploitation in the legal field? Man, I would love to hear about this one. Personally, I would love to. So what is, okay, maybe love not the right word to use because it sounds like I'm excited. No, I'm not. I just want to hear about it so that, have you ever? So I would imagine for, exploitation, for female, it's usually the same, cliche kind of exploitation, You're going to get a promotion if you embark on me or if you partake in sexual activities, sort of a thing. You're going to get a raise, it's one of those things. I would imagine, not imagine for me. So I'm for guy underpaid, overworked. So I would love to hear of different ones. Just drop a comment. Drop a comment. Let me know. And then here's an interesting idea. Drop a video and tag us on our social media platform, Ubuntu and Law, and let me hear about them. Probably there's a lot to listen to. And as we're about to wrap up, okay, let's go through this one. So this one is deals with it comes back again to stepchildren maintenance, but this time we're looking at it from a business angle, commercial stuff. So it goes like this: court orders a divorce. Let me start over. I also call my phone an hour non-stop, and then have to actually. But okay. Court orders a divorced man to support stepchildren financially. So that is the law in South Africa. If you have that is the law. So the legal issue là is it's obligation under maintenance law. So best interest of the child principle, Children Act, and then so forth and so forth. And the corner, and then there's a constitutional court, which is 1, 2, 3. So case law of this is like, I think it's M versus N, 2010 High Court. Student parent maintenance upheld. Okay? Sorry about that. Step parent maintenance upheld. Imagine that. So it was upheld. So you're step parent, you're a parent, it's not even your biological child, and then you will continue to pay for those children's maintenance until they're 18. And then there's another one that goes Banyatine versus Banyatine. Courts prioritises child welfare over adult right. So because they do, like, kids will always be prioritized. I think when you have matters that deal with children, they tend to be fast tracked so that they handle faster because they like to prioritize children, right? So even in divorce, law ensures children are protected financially beyond biological ties. So the question for me, the question that I'm going to be asking is, should step parents always be financially responsible? Well, legally, but actually, I don't think you have a choice on that because the legally was pay for those children. We're telling you, because So opinion wise, let me see. Should you, like I said on the first one, it depends. Like, and you know what? I think just start your own family. But then again, what happens if things don't work out? Just it's food for thought, right? It's food for thought to everyone. So it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm wrapping up this episode, I hope that I've informed, educated, and empowered and enlightened you about the laws of South Africa, the constitution of this beautiful, exotic, gorgeous land that we have. So, we do have a beautiful country, man. We do. Even I know that. So, as I wrap up this episode 17, I'm going to do it properly this time. So, this episode, it's in. Wait, should I wrap up? Oh yeah, let me see how it goes. Okay, this episode explores shocking real stories in South Africa, from learners facing school violence, families navigating maintenance dispute, law students blocked by financial barriers, to candidate attorneys experiencing exploitation. Each story is backed by case law to show how the Constitution and South African legal system protect rights and ensures justice. Tune in for insight lessons and audience questions to reflect on your own rights and responsibilities. So, moving next episode, which is one of the most impactful, most prominent, most I don't know what I'm talking about now. Anyway, from me, Stembi Kono, aspiring All right, let me do it right. Let me do it. For me, it's time to be something cool, no? Aspiring legal practitioner. Still studying. Aspiring public speaker. I'm still training. Aspiring polygamist. It's open for debates, but I stand by it. I stand proud by it. And yeah, that is what it is. And that is what I want for my life. And yeah, you can have an opinion on it. I don't really care. A polygamist. So I don't go past 3. But anyway, that's none of your business. But it is because I shared. All right. I'll see you next time on Ubuntu and law. I would have loved to have a visual for this episode though. But anyway.